So if somebody's a better striker, there's a super strong striker over there, maybe he won't go into the clinch and try and get the chokes that are in there. Maybe a bit more of a judo player might really go in for the throws right from the beginning. Maybe if you're a taekwondoist, right, you're going to be relying on some heavy kicks and you're going to try and get yourself to a position where you can maybe kick the leg and kick them in the head or some sort of combination of kicking. I'm not much of a kicker. Your theory of winning will depend on you, but you have a theory of winning, okay? You go into a conflict with a theory of winning, okay? And you must develop that in the dojo or wherever it is that you train before you get yourself into a scrap, because otherwise you've got to make it up as you go along. It's easy to adapt what you're doing if things go wrong, but you have to have that theory to start with. You've got to have that kind of plan. We'll call it the plan A, okay? But everything changes really, really quickly. So if I borrow Carl for a second, and you're just going to be over here. And so today's session is going to be multiple attackers. And your theory of winning has to change depending on what's in front of you. So all of a sudden, I'm faced by these two Slayer wearing, heavy metal drinking, whatever people that are in my way. Okay? A is for avoid, if I can. N is for negotiate. Okay? Again, the same thing's going to be applying over here. There's an N for negotiate. Oh, guys, I've been looking for you guys. There's some trouble over there, whatever. Make it up, right? Talk, etc. Still move my way to a position where I'm in a better position. But now I don't have to just worry about one person. I've got to worry about two people. Okay? If I was dumb, I would be moving into this position right now. Right? But my safer areas are, depending on if I'm a lefty, maybe it'd be over here. Right? Also, Liam's a big guy. Right? So maybe I'd be saying that's a bigger threat, maybe. Right? Or over here. I'm trying to get myself into a better position over here. But if I do my normal plan A, which is to get a hold of Liam and start doing this in here, and I'm starting to choke him over here, oh, my theory of winning has failed. Because my normal plan A in this position is going to get him, but it's not going to get him. Does that make sense, what I'm trying to say? We have to adapt a second theory of winning for multiple opponents. Okay? So we're going to start with a little drill. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go in threes. I'm going to borrow Carl here for a second. And one of you is going to be just a, like, you know the dummies that you have in first aid? You know the ones? It's just a dummy. Okay? The second one is going to try and do the tappy tappy to you. Okay? So Liam, you're going to try and tap me on the top of the head. Try and tap me to the top of the head. Right? And all we're going to do is we're going to try and use the other person as a shield between you and the other person. They're just a dummy, they're not fighting back, it's a drill. It's not realistic. Okay? We're doing a drill. And then it changes, right? So Liam's going to use me and Carl's going to try and hit him. Yeah. So he's going to use me, yeah. Just move me around, yeah. And Carl's got to try and get some points on Liam. Yeah, easy peasy, grab a three, just cycle through, and let's play this drill and see what happens. So, it's just a drill, but what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to move in such a way that I move him, or I place him between me and the other person. Okay? So, I'm simply trying to fight one person at a time instead of trying to fight two people at a time. And so if I'm over here, it gives me time to hit him in the groin, elbow him in the face, do whatever I need to do, push him into Carl, and then as Carl goes through here, then I can deal with him. I'm hitting him, I'm pushing him in the way, and I'm constantly trying to keep one person between me and the other person. Alright? Because I only have two arms, and I only have two legs, and I only have one strength bubble right here that I want to fight from. Alright? If they get me to this position, I'm in a lot of trouble. Right? Anything like this, I'm in a lot of trouble. Like this, I'm in a lot of trouble. Right? Because I can't deal with two attackers at the same time. Right? I can't do my kung fu fighting. Right? It's just not going to work very well. Okay? The next drill is switching shields. Okay, so what we're going to do, exactly the same thing. Liam's going to try and hit me in the thing, boom. I'm going to move in here, I'm moving him out of the way. Now he's my shield. I'm still trying in here, move him in here, boom. Right, now Cal's my shield. And I'm simply trying to keep away from this, right, push him up the way, deal with him, and go in here. Okay, so we're just building slightly on this drill now, and the person is still a dummy once you're holding on to them, right? But afterwards they go back and become the tappy guy. Same drill as the first one. That is, we've got one dummy. Okay, and that dummy needs to go between the opponent, and then the person needs to get your tappy on your back. 1 billion points for the back, one on top of the head, one on the body. Okay, so one person's the dummy, and 2 people are trying to get touched on the other person. Alright, it won't take you long to figure out why I did this. So, grab your fours, let's have a go. Go in fours and work it out. But most of you ended up with this position. The 2 leftover attackers split to either side, and as I'm dealing with one of them, the other one gets behind me. Yeah, was that a common experience? Yeah. Now, I saw particularly, I think Nick was like really trying to move backwards to try and create that extra space and stuff like that, but eventually people still got around you. And we can start adding extra people to this, and we're going to have exactly the same thing happen, right? Because initially you might be able to line them up, but they get smart. They realize that if they communicate with each other, or if one of them goes one way and the other way, I run out of opportunities to be able to do it. And that's with him being a dummy. If he's actually fighting me as well, it becomes even more difficult. Right? Fighting 3 people is not easy. Second drill was where we were changing shields. Okay? So, in this drill, what we're going to do is we're going to go here, we're going to push him in the way, we're going to deal with him. Right, he's in here, go in here. Right, now he's the shield. Go in here, deal with him. Right, that's right. Boom. Right, here. Right, it's going to be slightly better. You're going to get hit at the end, but it's going to be slightly better. Stick to the same fours that you had. Let's try that, changing shields. So what are we really trying to do here? Okay, so we're trying to create a line. So we're trying to, in an ideal situation, line up all of our adversaries in this line over here so that we only have to fight one at a time. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to line them up. The problem with this is that they're not going to stand like this, right? And so everything becomes dynamic and we have to start moving. And we have to create these little short lines on the way. As I move Carl, at the moment, he's being a dummy and he's letting me move. But in real life, he's also involved in the fight. Right? He's going to try and do things to try and hold me so that his mates can beat me up. Okay? So I need to use my atemi to neutralize him, even if it's temporarily. Right? I need to hurt him. I need to use violence. Right? Lots of violence, ideally. Right? So I want to be in here and I want to smash him in the nose, I want to smash him in the throat, I want to hit him in the groin, I want to elbow him in the back of the head, and then I want to throw him and delete him. Right? Then Jason comes in, there's my striking, boom, boom. Right? We're constantly hitting them, moving them, hitting them, moving them. Okay? To try and improve the situation. If I can take Carl out of the equation, now it's only 2 against 1. Plus, if I mess him up a lot, those guys might go, oh, that's a bit horrible. Right? If his nose is over here or his eyes are falling out, whatever, right? Okay? If we really screw him up. So we need to escalate the violence to very, very high levels of violence. Anything goes. There's 3 of them, there's 1 of you, of course it is. Right? There's a brick, the brick goes through his head. Okay? The knee, it doesn't need to be attached anymore. Right? All of those things need to be done to try and keep yourself safe at this point. Okay? But it's hard for us to train that in the dojo, so we use these drills to try and get ourselves to do it relatively safe. So, this is what we're going to do. All 3 of you are going to play a tappy now. I'm going to move, right? I'm going to try and hit you. Once in there, you've got to try and do a response based on that. So, yeah, boom, boom, right there, boom. And we're just going to simply try and get our striking in there and our shields in there at the same time. Okay? It's nice and light because we're not wearing gloves, we're not wearing mouth guards. We're just trying to do this as a practice. But just concentrate on striking the vital areas, right? Try and punch them in the throat, right? Knee them in the groin. Try and get them in the spine, in the back of the head. Use your elbow strikes, right? Get a handful of testicles. Simulate it. Alright? Give them a twist. Okay? You want to try and do things to try and slow the person down when they're the shield for you for that time. Push them into the other people and move. You have to move, you have to hit, you have to move, you have to hit all the time. And you want to think about a line the whole time. We'll start off with 3, so that's 2 attackers and 1 person, and then we'll move to 4 and the drill after that. Okay, have a go. You're not wearing gloves, you're not wearing mouth guards, don't hit too hard, don't get too excited, and the grabbing and groin thing was a joke. Okay.